Hello, Rick187 and welcome back to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We are rejoining our Confederate campaign, and I must apologise for the slightly prolonged delay between episodes this time around. Been getting a bit flat out at work from last week, and I've just been wanting to veg out when I came home rather than record entertaining content. So I put it on the back burner for a little bit, but now I'm back, reinvigorated and ready to teach some pesky Federals to get off my land. So we are with the 28,000 Confederates under Philip St. George Coke, and we are against the Army of Pennsylvania under James Cooper, also about 20,000 men. So this is a fairly even fight as far as numbers are concerned. Our troops are still fairly green. They've been in, I think this army's only been in one battle, which they lost, unfortunately. But they are our slightly better equipped army from an infantry equipment perspective. They've got the vast majority of our I think it's mainly Springfields we have in terms of additional equipment. Rid of the HQ phase. We could have a quick scan. The muskets, yeah, Springfield rifle muskets. I can't remember if we've got any. We've got a little bit of Mississippi's rifle musket. Springfield, Mississippi. Okay, so there's a few improved, but not many. Why are you guys feeling bad about life? Huh. That should improve. So, we're on the which kind of Bull Run map or Manassas map, depending on what you want to call it. And our objective is to take, well, there's going to take us to Gulftown, and we've got the sunken railroad, which actually has a relatively kind of flat approach. Sorry, the unfinished railroad, not the sunken railroad. There should be a relatively flat approach. They may, we've seen it before, where they actually defend in advance of a position. We will have to do some scouting, but I'm certainly have no interest in fighting them at the bridges. So our plan will be to probably advance, relatively slowly, find out where they are. We've got all day ahead of us. I don't want to tire my men, so let's find their defense positions and then hopefully outflank them. So what I shall do here is I'll kind of sort my troops out, get them headed towards the enemy, and when we know exactly where those rascals and rapscallions have based themselves, I will bring you fine gents back. Okay, and we have found them, and they have parked themselves across the unfinished railway. I'll get that right one day. As you can see, arrayed here. Now, there seems to be, I think, pretty much all their forces in kind of three divisions, sorry, by the looks of it. Some pretty chunky brigades running around here. So yeah, it would look to this as the entirety of their 20,000 men. We have marched ourselves into this position and are kind of holding place at the minute, and we're about to kind of launch our main attack. We're rolling our guns just forward up onto the crest of this hill to give them a better field of fire. I'm pushing Pickett's division out to the left towards Groveton itself. I don't think there's anyone going to be there, and then they should be able to hook in and threaten that flank. Our kind of initial main thrust is coming under, not under Price, but under Johnson's 7,000 men, who again are going to make a push towards this flank of the enemy. Meanwhile, we've got 8,000 men under Brigadier General Daniel Frost, who's going to come up into this ridgeline primarily to try and fix these forces in place. And if we see a big shift in the federal lines to try and reinforce this flank, then we will advance with Frost's division to try and take advantage of that. And then finally, we have got, where are you? Price's division, quite small, only 3,000 men, but some better weaponry, and really probably to try and push up the centre when the opportunity arises, mainly in support of Johnson's initial push to the flank. We want to add some additional firepower in the middle. Admittedly, they're probably going to suffer a little bit for that, but I'm going to let Johnson here gets relatively advanced before we push forward with Price. And this is the first time I'm using an all artillery division, so Garnett here is going to stay by his guns, which actually also makes ordering divisions around a little bit easier. So that's the general plan. Orders are in, and everybody should be moving off. You are removing yourself to the center. That's good. Help spread out the old orders as well. You're probably advancing a little bit far, but that's fine. Faster, courier, faster. Oh no, who's been wounded? Captain Armistead off one of the guns, no doubt. We are outgunned for just now, unfortunately. No response yet from the Federals. I'm okay with. Bit of a bold move here from Winder. Should allow us to close in on this position, silence these guns, and then attempt to roll up these two brigades by local fire superiority. The Reynolds division here is doing sterling work. Let's get you over here threatening their flank to really put the wind up them. And then, where's your other division? Yeah, you can come and take Grovetown itself. There should be fine. And then you're going to support the attack. Johnson, you're a little bit out of sorts here. It's not the smartest attacking play I've ever seen. Your field of fire are actually terrible there. You forward a little bit because your guns are not operating at this move. I find artillery quite finicky to try and actually get them in a good spot. It's quite frustrating at times. Boys are moving into position slowly. Not taking many losses, which is fortunate. Oh, you're dancing backward and forth. Fine. Okay, now let's get Price's division on the move. They are going to be needed to support. We're going to get leapfrogged. Right, let us push up. Move in. For the flank. We are still working on Grovetown, that's fine. Haven't seen any movement, although they're in marching columns. I will not ask questions. Okay, we should be able to save this battery if they're not going to move to protect it. Let's keep this flank position on the go. He won't be like being cut off though, so we'd have to protect it. Grovetown has fallen. Move you up the road. Okay, so far this seems to be going relatively successfully. You guys have the range? Okay, just engage. Finish them off. You'll support, cavalry and support. A nice divisional attack on an exposed artillery position. Okay. Now you guys don't have great firing arcs, probably because of the hill. May have to reposition you. But this will do, we'll drive off this battery anyway. If we ever do get real gun superiority, we might sit and try and batter them for a while, but like that's 15 guns, as many as we've got in our whole blooming force. We haven't really embiggened our artillery brigades, for want of a better word. Right, let's just, you can move up en masse picket. We've got Pierce coming in from the front. I'm going to have Frost just push up a little bit. Again, really more as a fixing force than as an engagement force. I'll take it. How have you not run yet? Try to get my lads with the Springfields to do the good work. That's what they're here for. The muskets, I should say. The smooth bores. Now you guys have got Mississippi, so if you come up to here, you might actually be able to engage some of these foolish people. I would like you to engage the cavalry here. Then probably get you gents to come in and introduce him to a bad day from the rear, and I am going to reposition this artillery. It's been useful-ish for an opening salvo, but it's not going to do much for me after that. There's nowhere along here really is. We've got that gentle rise, which really limits our effective range. We're just on the muskets. You do have Mississippis as well. Be forward. I'm loath to push you all on your own until you're more supported by units from Johnson's division here. Let's swing these gents over, and actually let's have you... I want you to go in first. We're going to use Johnson's division to its maximum efforts, as well as cut your hair. Why are you guys taking so long? Come on, keep moving up, please. I'm going to roll up the flank. I need that flanking force. They're trying to withdraw. Let's press them. Let's have you guys engage that battery. See if we can get Ewell to help out. Again, silence the guns. Okay, they're bringing a lot more men over, but that's okay and to be expected. You engage 1st Brigade. You also engage 1st Brigade. The Mississippis can take out the battery, and then we've got a flanking force on these horses. And then meanwhile, we've got Pickett's division coming up to support that flank so our horses don't get caught out. Excellent. They have routed. This is going relatively well. You guys have rifle muskets. This is a poor use of your abilities. Yeah, try and engage them. Cheat him, see if you can get him behind the horse and give him a stronger force on the flank. What are we doing in terms of casualties there? Come on, show me the numbers. Not as many as I'd like. Any particular reason you're not firing? What if I give you a long range command? Will you fire then? Yes. Good. If we can, these are terrible positions. We'll do that. We'll give you a long range command as well. We've got range, let's use it. They are falling back. Excellent. Let's see if we can break them before they manage to retreat. Tricky, but we shall do our best. You're going to come protect the flank of Price's division here. Let's have Frost begin to weigh in as we start to try and reinforce that position. We'll try and move focus and capture from the other end at the same time. Okay. You're going to go here, you're going to go there, you're going to push up behind, and you're going to attempt to flank. Now, we have been using a lot of Johnson's division, so I'm expecting some of these units to start feeling it a little bit morale. Yeah, like here. Windows Brigade. Probably going to be the last engagement for them because they will break. But they are surrounded by their friends. They've got good support on the flanks. We've got cavalry support. So they are feeling pretty good about life. Which is nice to hear. Artillery's doing a little bit. Small amount of efforts. You boys are in a fantastic position. Yeah, this unit is not going to last particularly long. Excellent. Credit to this first battery. Again, taking disproportionate large losses and really not concerned about it. Now here you guys have made a bit of a boo-boo. You've left this poor gun all exposed. Go and engage. So we're going to try and cauldron them up in the middle here. There goes the gun. You know what, let's see if we can't bring up our own guns. Alright. A little bit close, but I wonder if is there somewhere we could bring them? It's not going to take an age. Then we could, once we eradicate this battery, that's what I'm looking for, we could just pound these units with artillery for a while. First Brigade has broken, not surprised. We're going to let Winder recover, and so we don't lose face from breaking. I think we've got this sewn up, which is good. That's the first kind of proper attack we've really undertaken. Are you gents not engaging? Please engage. Okay, now here, this is where you show the advantage of weaponry, because these poor gents, I'm guessing, have Springfield muskets, or mixed muskets. So our rifled weapons have them massively outranged, and they're currently just taking it, which is a little bit of a poor move on the AI's part. But the AI's not perfect. And it's good, because we need to inflict essentially 2-to-1 cavalries at all times, because we're outnumbered 2-to-1, which we haven't done yet. But things will change as our strength grows and theirs weakens. You know, why don't you just charge them? Oh, they've run away. Okay, let's get you in a nice flank position here. And then I think we're just going to start to push the attack a little bit. I know I could sit and wait for artillery and stuff, but that doesn't seem sporting. Nor that it would be that effective. I love the crackle of the musket fire. I was listening to the great courses via Audible, so I like to listen to these things as I commute, and they were just going on about the number of men enlisted throughout the course of the Civil War for either side, and of course it was estimates, and accuracy may vary and all those usual warnings, but it was saying on the Confederate side, you know, of about 1 million eligible military age men, they enlisted something like 800,000, you know, finger and air stuff. But that's like 80% of the entire country's available fighting men were involved in the war, which is mad when you think about it. You know, you try and put that into modern numbers, and it just mind boggles. And obviously, they're a pretty unique situation, as well, all their military-aged fighting men didn't have to concern themselves so much with things like farming, which I suppose freed them up a little bit more than maybe expected for fighting, but still, that's a pretty intense level of mobilisation. Although even the Union got to something like 40 or 50%. You know, it fielded a lot more soldiers, but had a much, much bigger population. Alright, are you boys really just going to lie here and take it? Now, part of me feels unsporting, and we are simply getting gunnery practice. But at the same time, I'm well aware of how many of these little blue men are marauding around the map right now. You're probably blocked in by Ewell's unit here, which is getting some fantastic experience here. I'm tempted to pull them back and let the cannonade do some work. Nah, let's get some experience for these fine gents. For our Mississippi's to good work. Lions led by donkeys, that's what this feels like. Okay, let's go speed 5. Yeah, some of the units are withdrawing. What are we up to? Oh, it's getting late. Let's engage. Got to start to try and close this noose. Although if we went to a second day, it would allow us to inflict more casualties, and casualties kind of where they aim the game, but I'm pretty confident in our abilities here. Give them a volley, lads. Right, now we have to try and break them and drive them off. Okay, we're over 2-1, that's good. So we can keep those numbers. Let's just get you involved in the action as well. And there they go. Now, oh, I don't know why we suddenly jumped to 20 speed. Okay, and they've all broken. It's a bit unfortunate that they can just kind of break and run and get away through your lines. But oh, I'll take that 4,200. So that's what, about 2.5 to 1? That's some pretty good numbers. I don't know where you're running off to. Oh, we took unfinished railroad. Excellent. Can you like charge these guys as they run? Does that have an effect? We'll see. We were at 4,400. Not sure. Your ability to kind of attack fleeing troops is somewhat limited. Good, right? That was a absolutely sterling work. Got 22% of their forces. We were actually very close to a major victory. Although I felt that would have been probably undeserved. But I'll take the minor victory. 40 more cannons removed from the Union forces. As well as, hopefully... Well, I think they didn't have rifled muskets. I think they had smoothbore. But we shall see what we've got. Goody wise, it would be nice if you got like an equipment list out of this as well. But that was a nice little opening fight. Question is, do we want to turn around and try and take on another 20,000 that are currently sitting in DC? And I don't know. I'm feeling somewhat gun shy to go completely rampaging towards the enemy, as though that was a very good win. You know, you can't just roll up and kick the door down on any Union army. We still need to win on Union soil, actually. We haven't done that yet, which is slightly upsetting. Victory at Alexandra. My command is on a total victory. 1,000 more prisoners. We lost 1,600 men. Captured, yeah, 2,500 rifles, 21 guns. Cool. What I want to check, we pause it quickly, is in our, where are we, military, one of these buttons, weapons. Did we get, what did we get? Yeah, where am I? Well, okay, we're up to 2,300. I don't know what we had before, but that's close enough to get a brigade kitted out, which is nice. I like it. Are we actually outrange the Springfields on our newer weapons? That's handy. I need more of them. They ain't coming quickly enough. What have we got in terms of? Nothing. No orders available. Still got, yeah, we've put some cannons, we've got some carbines, we've got our rifles. Can you... No, you can't increase it as we go. Okay. 70 days left. But you see the standardization of 1. That's not really increased as much as I was somewhat hoping. We might just have to put a large order in as is. I mean, we've found out now that they do drip feed the delivery as they go, so that's some benefit. Although our credit rating's not looking super hot. Our fort's almost finished. We're going to need to sit where we are to get our readiness back. Although we may end up a clash with the army of Shenandoah sooner rather than later. Are you fully... No, you're not. You've only got 17,000 men. You are trying to recruit up to 20,000. Don't know what state these armies are in because they've both been battered fairly recently. 19,000. Hey, are you sieging me already? Jeez. So yes, 11,000 men under, oddly enough, under Crawford. Oh, garrison commander has taken the lead here. Under 18,000 men of the army of the Potomac, but it is in our favour. Port battles generally go. We'll see. They might end up pulling in a bunch of their armies here. I did want to, although you've been immediately attacked, so maybe I can't, embiggen the force within the garrison here. I jump into... Can I do it? Go to manage your army. You're going to be, presumably you'll be 32. Fort Warren, indeed. Yeah, you've only got, what, 6 guns? 4 guns. So yeah, we want some more. Let's do something like go like Georgia, because you don't need many men for a battery. Mainly because we can't do big batteries, but let's recruit you in. 6-pounder field guns feels a bit rubbish for a fort. What have we got lying around? Oh, quite a lot. Mainly howitzers. Right, we'll keep you where you are. Let's do another Toti one if we've got who's not got many men. I suppose Delaware doesn't have too many. You can do an artillery for me. And then let's try and get a bit of an infantry unit. I don't want to waste too many men here, but something like 1,000 or... How many people can do 1,000? Arkansas. Maybe we don't need that. We do something like... Okay, 1,500 is the smallest. Huh. Does limit our options somewhat. So we could put one at North Carolina, but essentially that means for our reinforcement of the army, we're not going to be able to do that. So do you know what? I'm going to say, let's not do that, and actually let's just give you a couple more large batteries. Although the quality is somewhat debatable. Okay. At least that's going to give you plenty of guns with which to oppose the force, and I would like to put some men in you, but we don't really have the recruits to spare. Now, okay, this seems to be going fairly well in our favour. We have... Well, you say that. Why have we lost 350 and they've lost 4? We may need to kick out the Army of the Potomac here. With our own Army of the Potomac. What I don't want is to lose that fort. Right, either way, we can't do anything until our readiness recovers. Check of assignable projects, just trade deals. More volunteers, 2-year contracts. Okay, now this was our trigger point for wanting to embiggen the Army of Shenandoah. It says we're going to win it, but I don't like how many casualties we're taking here. I feel this is really problematic. And what we're going to have to do, well, we could sally forth with what we've got. No, we can't. I don't want to withdraw, because that counts as a loss. So I've got two options here. Either I can move forth with the Army of Potomac to break this siege, as we try and strengthen the siege here. Or we try and push against 20,000 men in the Shenandoah. I think I'm going to have to save the army. Can't afford to keep taking the casualty at the rate that they are being taken. Okay. Avanti. Okay, meanwhile, I wanted to check in on our Carolina squadron, which is under blockade here. And the reason I want to check in on it, my fleet view. Okay, so I had checked this earlier and it was at 77%. So they are being built. So even though we're under blockade, they are still being built. So we will get a Charlton squadron. We have got a Pensacola squadron also being built. These things obviously do take a chunk of time. And then we've got a few river squadrons which are being built as well. We have got some out on the river themselves doing... Well, you're not doing much actually. You're blockading St. Louis and Cairo. I would like to push someone up towards Cincinnati, but we have a couple of armies marauding around. 40,000 men here supporting each other, which is a terrifying number of troops. I feel like things are going to go badly for us in the west and if we can't reinforce, which we can't because we don't have any additional men. But there we go. Okay. Let's go see if we can't push them back. Which way are you gents going? Yeah, casualties are evening out, but even so, one-to-one casualties is problematic. It'd be much better if we actually had a full complement of guns going in the fort. But sensibly, they didn't let us pull that into place. Now, the problem is you're orange. May mean we can't actually sally forth you, but hopefully you'll recover a little bit, because your redness is... Well, it wasn't too terrible, but... You right there? Struggling across the bridge? Okay, there we go. Okay. Alright, look, we still can't sally forth because the Army of the Potomac's redness has dropped. It does look like we're going to win this siege in a very frustrating manner. Okay. Everything else is fairly steady as she goes. How are we doing down here with our 10,000 men? We now have 10,000 men. Well, let us go see. That is enough to deal with Fort Pickens. We only have 144 men. We have 10,000, and that's 10,000 men. I would love to move into another army. So let's see if we can't break a siege. I want to see what we can all just are saying down here. Okay, now it says it's in our favor. If only just. I will take it. And do we have... You're being built on you? Yeah, okay. Alright. This will do. Our policy finished. I didn't research anything. That's a good point. And this is an important question because we had talked about potentially going diplomacy so we get some imported rifles. It'd also be useful to go industrialization so we actually fill up our policies quicker. And of course, printing money. Don't think we need the 3-year act. Military, again, military would be quite nice. More money into weapons production. I think we're going to fund a little bit of diplomacy with a view of trying to get ourselves some possibly Lorenz rifles. Okay, good. So I think we're just going to have to wait until this resolves itself, essentially. I'll come back. Oh. Right now. Battle for 1 has ended. With the Army of the Potomac, not mine, retreating in panic. A total victory. Well, you see that, but casualties that were, okay, actually, it was a little bit more on their side. And we got some random rifles. Beautiful. Okay. And Shenandoah runs away. So, what we want to do now is for you. You should not be Skullface. I have a supply depot around here somewhere. Anyway, Potomac is going to come back down to Alexandria. You can now get a perk, which I'll think about later. You guys are going to come down to be able to support. Very good. And when you get here, we're going to raise it. In fact, we can raise some men now because you are in desperate need of some expansioning. You 1700, 1800, 1400. They're okay numbers. You've got less than 1,000 men. I'm tempted to send you home. So if you go home, and you get reinforcements quicker. Let's do that. Hero, and then let's extend and number of divisions. We're going to put Jackson under you. I will give you another division. I think we're going to copy the artillery design we've done, although artillery is admittedly weak. And I'm going to get, hopefully, some... Oh, wow, we have lots of... Oof. Okay, so that Militia Act really gave us some more volunteers. Okay, I'm going to go on a bit of a recruiting spree. I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, expansion complete, and it was, yeah, fairly beefy. I think I added like, I don't know, 30,000 men to our army or something along those lines. So what have we done? So for Army of Shenandoah, you see lots of new recruits, taking us up to about 30,000 men all in all. I did also... I remember if I've done this already. Anyway, so we've got the artillery division, a few more guns. Oh, well, these are still not very great. And obviously all my troops are going to have terrible weaponry, so I need to look into that as well. I did send... I think we talked about sending someone home, which we have done. Yeah, so we've got 4 full divisions. We've added kind of big 3,000 men units in, so pretty chunky brigades coming in. Oh, and I wanted to mention Stan Watty has appeared, which is nice because we had lost him earlier. Only a lowly colonel. Hopefully we can get him some experience and then get him promoted. And then similar story for the Army of Potomac, up to 30,000 men. Didn't need as much because we already had them about 25, but added in a few more chunky brigades. Also Army of Tennessee has been thoroughly expanded to 30,000. This looks bigger on paper, but there's a lot of very small legacy units here, which probably aren't going to survive huge amounts more fighting. But we'll get a couple of fights out of them, and then we've got a couple of big units, including 3,000 gentlemen from Cuba who have joined us. Yeah, and again, a few more horses. This is, I don't know why you are down here. Even yourself out. There we go. Yeah, so again, I haven't really upgraded the weaponry, but it's a start. It's a start. And that's it, I've not really done. My only other fort was the Fort Warren. I did bring 1,500 men from New Mexico. Probably going to take a while to get there. 50 days, in fact, just to help beef that up. Now, the downside of having done this is, of course, it is going to take a bunch of time for these fine gentlemen to get like 3 weeks. Really, it's 40 days from McCulloch. Where are you coming from? Virginia. Okay. So it's going to take a little bit of time. 70 days. So our strength is going to grow, but it's going to grow slowly, and it probably means there's a time period of just sitting potentially on the defensive. I'm not under any illusions we're going to fight some battles while these defensive, while we continue to strengthen ourselves. But I think that's going to be a big boon to help us out in the latter half of the campaigning season. And yeah, I was looking over the strategy. So again, we know we're less than half the men, so this should bring us up to maybe, if we get up to say about 90,000, which is, I think is a disparity we can live with. Interesting enough, the battle's won is even Stevens at the minute, which doesn't feel that way, but we did have, so we had the DC, Kentucky, and Cairo, which are 3 losses, which were fair and won by the Union, but then I think the other ones count for like a couple of sieges we ran away from, I'm not sure. And maybe some sea battles actually as well we lost. But if you look at the kind of national support, ours is much higher, morale's higher. So this is generally okay. But we haven't done any of our objectives yet. Not even winning Union Territory, which I would love to do. I'm very disappointed we haven't done that yet. Okay. Good, so what does that mean for us? Well, it means we're probably going to, rest on our laurels a little bit. Let's come and I'm going to say move into Alexandria, but please don't come and attack me before I've managed to pull back. I'm not in a great place. Oh. But then again, maybe I don't care. Wow, you guys have been beaten up. Where's all your troops gone? Okay. Now, what state are you in? You look okay. I'm slightly worried about morale and stuff because they were slightly undersupplied, but I think we're going to be okay here. Outgunned, 40 guns. Woo! Wow. I'm going to capture some, I guess. Okay, I think this video's run long, but I think I'm also going to potentially do this one off camera. Tell you what I'll do. We're going to call this video quits here. Because I'm really, we probably advanced about a week. I really want to get some more time marching on. Let us... words escape me. I'll probably tell you what, I will record this fight, but if it goes the way it's expected and it's not particularly interesting, we do outnumber them, I think it's going to be a bit ruffle stomp, then I'll just come in at the end of it and we can kind of prepare ourselves for the next phase. It's good. And that way we'll try and push for a little bit more time. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm quite excited now that we have more men. I was really worried when we only had about 15,000 in the pool. But yeah, now I think we've got more of a fighting chance. I'm also really excited to get my ships actually finished building so I can try and fight back against the blockade. Anyway, thanks for watching. As ever, do leave your thoughts, comments down below. It won't be as big a gap for the next one. We'll try and knock these out every few days, and I'm excited to keep the campaign going. So I'll see you then. Cheerio!